MP3 when you want, where you want, how you want. WHPR is now in your pocket. Download our free app by going to the App Store or Google Play and enter WHPR TV in the search engine. And there we are. You can download WHPR TV or radio. You heard about it. Now come be a part of it. Roku Detroit Worldwide. Approximately 8 million viewers.
So can I look over here though?
Well, it's good. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Number One National's Black Business Talk Show. I am your host, Tondi Jabu. It's wonderful to have us in your living rooms at this moment. Here we have Brother Robert, our co-host. Here with actually, I'm a out him. He just got here. He came running in. So, hey, we're glad to have him here. And we have a wonderful guest with us here. We have Sister Fatimah Mohammed.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum to you, sister.
Walaikum salam.
Amen. And just speaking with this sister, you know, she is extremely passionate about what she does and how she serves the community. And I'm just you're gonna see me doing this a lot, which means that's my listening mode. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you, Sister Fatimah, what is it that you do for the community? What is it that you do?
First of all, let me thank you both for inviting me
Yes.
on. I'm very honored. I want to start properly, if I may. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Fatimah Mohammed, and one of the many hats I wear is program manager with the Lift Women's Resource Center, located right on the west side of town. And I am the program manager, which means that my job entails setting up programs, workshops, training programs to bring in to clients from various backgrounds. Many of our clients are everyday women who walk in from the streets. We have women who are transitioning at a stage in their lives from retirement but still need an extra income. Need to retrain themselves, being that we're in a computer age now and learning modern technology. We pick up women from homeless shelters, domestic violence centers, substance abuse treatment programs, and bring them in 3 days a week. We have just recently, as recent as last year, introduced a male program. So that's our pilot program on Thursdays, where we're bringing in men from various programs, substance abuse, community workers who have been ordered by the courts. Some of the brothers have been released recently from prison or jail, and they're learning to make that re-entry back. So we set up programs from everything from computer literacy, job readiness, helping them set up resumes, like I said, with the computers, the technology that's out here, utilizing whatever programs are here in the city of Detroit, which numbers greatly. It's one of those things that there's so many programs that people just don't know about.
That's right.
So we utilize the resources, the referrals, to help our clients get on their feet to where they're striving to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if there is someone listening and they maybe fit into a category that
Yes.
you said, or they're interested in coming around and see what your program is about, can you give your contact numbers to the?
Yes,
please.
definitely. Lift Women's Resource Center. The phone number there is 313-345-9065. Our address is 16810 Myers. We're located right on the west side of Detroit, between Puritan and West McNichols, or famously known as 6 Mile.
All right. And we will be asking you to repeat that
Oh,
throughout, just
definitely.
in case
Yes,
someone has to get
ma'am.
a pen.
Okay.
Now, just listening to you, you were so passionate. I
Yeah.
started the intro with how passionate you are about what you do. Now, where does that passion come from?
I have to be honest.
Please.
I joined the Nation of Islam approximately 24 years ago.
Okay.
And when coming in the Nation of Islam, I was one of those young girls who thought I had it going on. Thought I was cute stuff.
Okay.
And I walked through the door, and I had the mentality that most of us as women in the city of Detroit here, every other sister is my competitor. It's cutthroat. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Every man for himself. And I came into the nation and joined a sisterhood that taught me something I never witnessed before. And I went through college. I joined the sorority. Hey to all my sorors, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Oh, ski-wee.
Ski-wee. That's a little quick shout out. But I knew sisterhood. I have biological sisters, 2 older, 2 younger, so I'm right there in the middle. However, the sisterhood I experienced in the MGT and GCC, the Muslim Girls Training and General Civilization class, put me on a path.
Yes.
Now that started it. However, these teachings by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught by Minister Louis Farrakhan, that's what really watered the seed, if you will. So what was dormant in my spirit that I just couldn't put my finger on just came alive. And once you start learning who you are, it's easy to fall in love with your sister next to you.
Yes.
That's the easy part. So when I start learning my value and I start recognizing I had a divine role with not just my sister, but with my brothers.
Yes.
I had a divine role with being a woman, a mother. And once I was able to tap into that, doing this kind of work, it became an easy, natural road, if you will.
Yes. So you definitely attribute the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to the passion that you have within
Definitely.
yourself.
I would say it's 1,000%.
Wow.
I can't even say I could do what I do if it wasn't for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It puts me in the mindset daily to do what I'm doing on a constant basis.
Right.
So definitely focused on that.
Excellent. Now, what is maybe one of the challenges that you have at the position where you work?
You know, the greatest is 2. I have to be honest. The 2 challenges I think I face the hardest are, one, it's not enough programs. There are not enough programs in the city of Detroit to help the women that we're facing every day. And one of the hardest things in doing this job is to see a mother come to you with 3, 4, 5 children. She's struggling to make it. She has to set her pride aside and to ask for food, help with her water, get the lights and gas on legally, help her find employment. And you have to say there are no programs, no resources, and no referrals.
Wow.
That's one of the hardest parts of doing this job. It's just not enough money and there are not enough programs. So I would say that's probably one of the greatest challenges to this job.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
and how do you look past that? How do you continue to survive knowing that there's so many limited resources?
I think like most, regardless to income, regardless to education, regardless to our background, everybody want to know whoever I'm reaching out sincerely care.
Amen.
Just sincerely care.
Right.
Not a big deal. It's not no degrees on the wall. It's not titles, business cards. No one cares, about that part all the time. What they want to know is I came in and I know that she's working on my behalf.
Yes.
So even if today there's no resources, one thing they know for sure, they can keep calling Fatimah. And I'm going to keep looking and I'm going to keep digging. And if I find one iota of something that look like it might help,
Right.
it might not even be the thing you came in for, but this might assist us on that road, then I'm ready to give that. And I think that's what the people appreciate.
Excellent. Producers, let us know we have to go to a commercial break. We will be right back right after this commercial break talking to Sister Fatimah. Got a lot of passion up in here. A lot of passion.
Let Number One National fulfill all your advertising and marketing needs. Get listed in Number One National Black Business Directory. Do you have an online web presence? Number One National can build you a custom website and develop a commercial for your business and gain attention with an email marketing campaign. Visit us at www.numberonenational.com or call us at 313-949-7798.
Okay. Welcome back to Number One National Business Talk Show. I hope you enjoyed those commercials done by our own brother, David Mohammed. Please give us a call here. If you want to reach us here at Number One National, our call numbers are 313-949-7798. You could also reach us on the web, www.national.com. And you can also see us on YouTube. Just type in Number One National, type the whole thing out, Number One National. And then you'll see some old shows that we've done, some commercials that we have. And our main thing here in Number One National is to promote and unify black businesses here in Detroit and the Detroit metro area. So give us a call. We want to thank those that have called. We've reached out. We're working with many of you. So we're going to rock this, and we're going to make our dollars circulate within our own community. Right now, we are talking to Sister Fatimah Muhammad, who works within our community, encouraging the lives of people. And Sister Muhammad, we talked about your passion before we went to the commercial break. And can you further let us know how your passion just enthralls you, encourages you to do so great at your job?
You know, one of the greatest joys is watching the women who you see come from so many various backgrounds, as I mentioned before. And one of the things that I've noticed in a lot of our clients, especially the ones who are coming out of substance abuse treatment programs, domestic violence centers, and the homeless shelters, one of the things I've noticed is that over 80% of those client base suffer from some sexual molestation, sexual abuse in their background. And when we talked about before the disappointments to it, in the city of Detroit, we just lost another program due to lack of funds that would assist women who've been through sexual abuse or battery. Now we're down to only a couple left that can assist women in this size of a city of over 700,000, where domestic violence is every 9 seconds with the woman. So to have only 2 programs, only 1 victim advocate within the police department to really assist is really, it's tragic. But when you see these women who have suffered from rape, molestation, who have been beat down, and a lot of times it's not the drugs that is per se the problem. It's the sexual abuse, the child molestation. I have one client who her father molested her, and he would, if you will, pimp her out to his friends, and that would become Friday night parties. Coming over and raping. Now you take a woman who at the age starting at 4 of this happening to her, and that's her earliest memory of it. And heroin, crack cocaine, these are eventual cover-ups for that kind of pain. So although in my job it says we do evidence-based relapse prevention programs, I can't ignore, as I always tell the ladies, this may have been what you went to the program for, but this is what's causing the problem that this is. So instead of addressing this, I need to get to this. Because if I can address this problem, child molestation, domestic violence. One client of mine, she was 8 or 9 when she was holding her dad's hand, and her father and her grandfather get into an argument, and he shoots her father right then and there. And she can recall, as she was telling me, the blood splattering all over her. Now you tell me, how do you just address drugs when this is the problem that's persistent? So with that said, when I see these women now overcoming, and they get excited, they just got their first apartment, their first car. We help them get their first business suit, interact with their parents, their children again. That's my joy. I don't need a lot of dollars. Although if my job is listening, I am going to need that paycheck on payday. However, my love for doing what I do, I get a daily payoff. And that's the part that makes it easy to go to work every day. That's the easy part.
I just looking at you when you talked about the successes of these women, you just lit up like a Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you're so sincere with it,
I love it. I love it.
I'm going to play the angel's advocate for a moment.
Okay.
Now, what about your critics that say these women that you mentor, that you help, it is their fault because they made these decisions, and they need to be held responsible for their decisions. Give them tough love, and if you got to throw them in jail, then you throw them in jail. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and that's it. What would you say to someone that has that type of approach?
Partly right.
Okay.
You're partly right. And I think the part that many of the women who have submitted themselves to substance abuse treatment programs, many of these women turn themselves into jail.
Wow.
Many of these women are meeting their probation officer on their own. So they are taking the responsibility. So it's not as if they're getting captured off the streets and sent to a program.
Right.
These women have recognized, I'm tired. I'm tired. However, I still can't ignore all that has taken place in their lives and ignore those dynamics, because it's not an average person's thought to pick up heroin. The average person don't think to themselves, I might as well try crack today.
Right.
That's not the average thought. So there's still some underlining memories, things haunting them that is causing these addictions and the repeat of the addictions. So on one hand, yes, 100%, you got to take some responsibility. On the flip side, we as a society have to take some responsibility as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm curious, if somebody, if they hear your passion for what you do, if they want to help, if they maybe want to volunteer, how can they get in touch?
Yes, we love the word volunteer as much as we love the word donate. Please contact us at Lift Women's Resource Center. Our phone number, once again, is 313-345-9065. Our website is www.liftwrc.org, which stands for Lift Women's Resource Center. We have been in existence for 21 years. So that speaks for itself. And last year alone, we serviced close to 4,000 women.
Wow.
And so we are proud of what we're doing, the accomplishments we're making, the households we are affecting, the women lives we're touching, and now going into looking at the whole family, because we recognize you can't just look at the woman, you got to look at the family.
Yes.
So now we're working with the men's program. We do things with children as well. So we're trying to make it a little more well-rounded.
Now, it's obvious you are so devoted to this cause, and you spend your day encouraging people
Yes.
and helping people. Now, who encourages and helps you? Where do you get your strength?
A couple of factors. One, I have 4 beautiful children. And although there are times that I think they have contributed to the gray hairs on my head, a couple of wrinkles,
She's
the hot
flawless.
fudge sundaes from Dairy Queen.
She's the same now. She's flawless.
But despite, I know that's one of my greatest blessings and encouragement. I cannot ignore prayer. I thank Allah for what I do.
Yes.
I cannot ignore prayer. I cannot ignore reading the scriptures, my
Yes.
Bible and my Holy Quran. That encourages me, because I recognize that what I'm doing is no different than what all of us should strive to do. And many of us are doing on some level.
Yes.
We assist, we aid. We're a city that really look out for each other. So I'm very thankful that every day I get up and say, I love my job.
Amen.
And it's the kind of job where in my job interview for the position, I told them there's 2 things. They asked the question, why do I think I qualify for this job? So I sat back for a second. I said, well, I got 2 answers. And the one you're supposed to say and the one you're not supposed to say. So those on the board of directors say, well, say what you're supposed to say. And I went through, I went to Davenport University and I studied this and I've done that for X amount of years in my background. And then one of the members of the board said, well, what are you not supposed to say? And I said, you're not supposed to say that what I do is what I believe I'm gifted by God to do. I don't do it because of a paycheck or a title. I don't need a business card for what I do. I do what I do by Allah's permission. Strictly because of my love for what I'm doing. And I know that love has been given to me by Allah himself, and I know that's been growing in me, and I'm learning more of that from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes. I am so enthralled to be sitting next to this sister. I'm telling her energy radiates.
Yay.
Okay. Now, our producers are saying I have to radiate to another commercial break. We will be right back after these commercials from #1 National. Please come back and join us. Sister Fatimah.
Let Number One National fulfill all your advertising and marketing needs. Get listed in Number One National Black Business Directory. Do you have an online web presence? Number One National can build you a custom website and develop a commercial for your business and gain attention with an email marketing campaign. Visit us at www.numberonenational.com or call us at 313-949-7798.
Want me to throw water on?
Yeah. Okay, we're up. Okay, we're back here at Number One National Business Talk Show. We have our guest here, Sister Fatimah Mohammed. And Brother Robert just had to jump in on this conversation. Brother Robert, please.
Oh, about time.
About time. Like I'm a hog.
Sister Fatima, as you know that Number One National, what we primarily do is support black-owned operated businesses.
Yes, sir.
How did your program begin? Who started your program?
Yes, sir. 21 years ago, as I stated, we started in the basement of Oak Grove AME Church with Pastor Robert Brumsfeld. And he and his wife have done a phenomenal job in keeping this program going. It started out in the church basement for several years until the program just got too big. And the women were coming by the numbers. And it was time to purchase a building. So by God's permission, a building right down the street, Oak Grove, Pastor Brumsfeld Church is right on Kentucky and Pembroke. And so right down the street, we were able to get the building we're in now. And I want to say we've been in that building for almost 12 years.
Oh, that's great. Are there any other programs connected to the programs you currently have?
Yes, sir. One of the things we pride ourselves is getting with other programs in the city of Detroit, other resources, other referrals, to make sure that we're interacting with the city of Detroit as a whole. We work intensively with programs like WC Safe,
Yes,
Wayne
I heard
County
those.
Sexual Abuse Forensic Examiners Program. We work with Michigan State University Extension Program, their food and health and nutrition program, as well as their anger management program. We work with Detroit Parent Network. We thank Kemia Jacobs, who's a phenomenal on the staff there to allow us to do a lot of good there. We work with the Starfish program, offering parenting programs right there. A lot of our parenting classes come right out of Starfish, which is another staple in our community. We work with the National Kidney Foundation, where we were teaching the women who are suffering from medical conditions ways to handle their medication, diet, etc. So we have a lot of programs right there in the city of Detroit that we're working with. United Way just come on board again. So we have a lot of programs right here in the city of Detroit that we're working with daily.
So that's great to know that your program is assisting the citizens of Detroit. Because we do have many problems, men and women,
Yes.
here that need help. Your association with the Nation of Islam, what do you do straight out the mosque?
Again, one of those multi-hat places. I would love to say one thing, but I'm part of the student ministry, assistant ministers at the Muhammad Mosque Number One. I work with our junior MGT program, where we have a big drill exhibition coming up at the Ann Arbor Festival this June 7th, this coming Saturday. I assist in the MGT class wherever needed, teaching the various classes that help with the training of the women. Pretty much, again, one of those multi-hat programs. Wherever I'm needed, Muhammad Mosque Number One know they can call on me.
That's great. That's great. We love that we have you here.
Thank you.
It wasn't such a short notice because I gave you a week in advance.
Yes,
to
you
know.
did. Thank you.
Let's talk about your program. Do you have a program right here on TV 33?
Yes, thank you. The Think Tank Show. Every Friday night right here at WHPR TV 33. We are on from 7 to 8 with Brother Arnold Sutton Bay and Sister Aminette. Our program addresses the issues that's going on locally in our community, nationally, as well as internationally. If it's happening in our community and affect us, we as a whole like to discuss it right there. Give the callers the opportunity to call in and be a part.
Great. Thank you. I'm turning back over to you, sis.
See, I'm a bit petty. Finally, that's how he did to be. But see, now y'all know I'm petty. Tandi's petty. No, that was a joke. So one of the things I did want to get back to, because I'm so excited about what you do for the community, for the women in the community, and for the men in the community. We talked about, like when we were preparing for this interview, you talked about building up the black women.
Yes.
Now, tell me, why is that so important in the survival and the success of the women in your program?
You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad talks about a nation is judged by its woman. And looking at the condition that our nation is in right now, not just here in the United States of America, but worldwide, looking at the abuse and the mistreatment, the lack of value seen in India with the acid thrown on women, rapid rapes worldwide, it really make us have to look at the judgment of the woman. So we put a lot of emphasis on building up the woman, because if there's no new woman, there can't be a new civilization.
True.
That's beautiful.
That's true.
That's so beautiful. Our producers told us that we got to start wrapping it up. And I hate to leave because I'm just enthralled by this conversation.
And I thank you all.
Oh, we have to have you back.
Wonderful.
Please,
Anytime.
because there's a plethora of questions we didn't even
Yes.
touch on yet. Okay,
Yes.
so you definitely have to come back.
Definitely.
Again, here at Number One National, you could reach us. Our call number is 313-949-7798. If you have a black-owned and operated business, you're looking for someone to promote it, we are your people. We definitely want to get in touch with you. You can get in touch with us so that we can definitely talk black business. Okay, our website is www.no1national.com. And we also have a YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Number One National, type the whole thing out, and we're there. So I have to go. Final thoughts? I hope they don't, because we're out of time. Bye. See you next Monday, 7 o'clock.